What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and following yesterday's massive PTR update, there were a few more additional changes added that I had missed prior to Blizzard updating the PTR patch notes. So I'll be talking about these, which include buffs for both Doomfist and Orisa, and additionally Blizzard did also announce today that there will in fact be a double XP weekend coming up shortly. So I'll be talking about the details regarding that as well. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. First up, the buff to Orisa. Supercharger ultimate cost reduced by 15%. Supercharger wasn't getting enough use considering its impact. This change allows Orisa to use her ultimate more aggressively, knowing that she will be able to generate them more easily. This change is great. As many of you likely know from the amount of gameplay footage I use of her, I play quite a bit of Orisa. Currently, I'd even say that she's probably my favorite hero to play. And believe it or not, the ultimate is something that I have had an issue with. I feel like the developer comments they added onto the patch notes hits spot on the issue I've encountered. Her supercharger, if used correctly, is very, very powerful. However, I've often found myself holding onto it for ridiculously long periods of time because either my team isn't grouped up enough for it to be effective, or the enemy's not in a good position where we can actually utilize its power, but by reducing the ultimate's cost and being able to use it more frequently, I can be a bit more liberal with how often I decide to drop it down. Now, I will also say though that I don't think this is going to give Orisa the buff she needs necessarily to be on par with Reinhardt when it comes to competitive play usage, but I think that just has a lot more to do with the current meta and less of her being just a weak hero. I honestly think a lot of people don't give Orisa enough credit for how strong she can be in the right hands, but I am definitely excited to see her maybe get some more playtime overall due to this buff. I will also note though that she and Reinhardt alike are in for a dark future with this new Symmetra rework, which I had talked about in a video yesterday. You can check that out through the card on screen, as barriers, well, don't really stand much of a chance against Symmetra anymore. We'll just have to see how it plays out after we've had more time to test out the new hero rework, but for the time being, it's not looking good for the tanks, who are already in a pretty bad spot. Anyways, trying to stay on topic, next up we have the Doomfist buffs. Meteor Strike bonus movement speed increased from 150% to 200%, and the best defense, shield gain increased from 30 to 35 for normal abilities. The increased movement speed on Meteor Strike gives Doomfist new options in how and where he deploys it. His passive is also being increased, allowing him to survive more often when diving into enemies. These changes were a bit unexpected, I would say, but absolutely welcome. As some of you may know, I have been on a bit of a Doomfist kick recently, and I really enjoy playing him. In fact, I have a very special video, or possibly even videos, which should be coming to the channel shortly, that will be prominently featuring Doomfist. But anyways, the 50% move speed increase is just a nice buff to be able to move around. It lets him not only more quickly get into a good position to land, but also it lets him start using his ultimate from farther away. Perhaps he launches it from behind cover so the enemies don't even know where he first initiated it, thus giving him a bit more of an element of surprise when he comes crashing down. And the shield gain increase is just a great buff for his survivability, which I think a lot of people would agree is oftentimes his biggest issue. Sure, maybe he can go in and get a kill, but oftentimes he's going to have a hard time getting out unless the player is really good. Overall, I think these buffs to both Doomfist and Orisa are going to be great, and I cannot wait to see them go to live servers, along with all the other great changes that I talked about yesterday. Now, moving on to the double XP weekend. As many of you likely remember, last year during the anniversary event, the final, I think week, or maybe it was just the weekend of the anniversary event had double XP. That means you could level up more quickly and thus get even more loot boxes. Well, earlier today, Blizzard has announced that this double XP weekend will be coming back and will be running from June 8th to June 11th. They even give a rundown of how exactly this double XP will work. The bonus will apply to time spent in a match, completing consecutive matches, winning a match, backfilling a match in progress, and earning medals. Additionally, it'll stack with group bonuses as well, but however, will not affect the first win of the day bonus, which is always just 1,500 XP. So I'm sure everybody will be happy to hear that this is coming, as I know a lot of you guys were talking about in the comments on my previous videos about how much you wanted this to come back, and thankfully it looks like Blizzard is willing to do it. So if you haven't gotten all the legendary skins or other cosmetic items you want from this year's anniversary event, definitely be sure to jump on and play for at least a little bit this weekend before you try spending any credits, because you never know, you might just be lucky enough to get whatever you want right out of a box. And that'll do it for today's Overwatch news update. Thank you all so much for watching. If you didn't see my videos yesterday talking about the Symmetra rework, the Horizon map rework, and the 2 new social systems which are currently being tested, then you can check those out through the cards on screen. Otherwise, leave your thoughts about anything I talked about here today down in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.